Welcome, I'm the DeadwoodJedi. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video, and I just kind of wanted to make this video just kind of remind everybody, Clan Boss Draft is tomorrow. It's going to be at 4 p.m. UTC at 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon Eastern, right here on YouTube on my channel. So make sure you come by and watch. It's very exciting. I've been working on my team all week long, and I'm real intrigued to see if I can't do some amazing stuff. I had to come up with a completely new speed tune. You know, as you may or may not know, you know, I have Archmage helmet on my team and no buff extenders at all. So I kind of had to get creative with what I was going to do with my team, and I played around with a lot of different options, and I think you guys are gonna be really impressed with what I ended up coming up with, because I had a lot of gaps on my team. And so trying to find solutions within the gear sets that I'm using, within the champions that I have and the ones that were available was really difficult. But I'm actually really happy with my result. I think I have a chance to win, which I didn't think after the draft itself. You know, and I've been doing interviews all week with everybody. If you haven't seen them, please take a time to watch them, because I think they're really insightful, actually. And this whole event has been really fun, whether, you know, I was talking to Nub Raids or talking with Cold Brew or Hell Hades or YST, which that video just dropped today. There's a lot of really cool ideas and insights with these guys, and they all do amazing jobs out here on YouTube. So if you're one of those people that likes to watch to learn about the game, they're great people to follow. They also all have really great personalities, so they're also enjoyable to watch. It's a great combination. If you enjoyed today's video, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss the next one. I'm really excited about what we're going to be doing tomorrow. I know also, in addition to that, this is something I've been kind of saying but haven't really announced. There's going to be thousands of gems being given away. I'm still waiting to hear back from Polarium on exactly what I'm going to be able to give away, because every other time we've had a draft, they've given us a ton of resources to give to you guys in the community. Usually it's tied to who wins or loses, but in this case, it's pretty much we're just going to be giving them away. I think everybody generally just likes to give them away in stream. I know I get 5,000 gems a month basically to give away, and I'm going to be dropping those in stream for sure. So as long as you come in and can, you know, chat in stream, you're going to have a really good chance to get some extra resources just by watching something that's going to be very enjoyable. So definitely encourage you to do that. Yeah, I mean, this has been a real challenge. This was definitely more challenging than the first one, only being able to use epics, having to make sure I have somebody green in the team. You know, not, you know, the ban phase was super crazy. And so I'm very intrigued when it comes to this stuff. I'm actually, you know, I put out a draft grades article the other day on the website, which was really fun to write, actually. And I think you guys could get a little kick out of that. And then I'm putting together a team grades one with like what I think like their damage is going to be, what overall I think their, you know, their draft for each team was. And I think that could be pretty interesting for you guys. So that should, if it's not up right now, it should be up, you know, sometime today on the website itself. So definitely could go check that out too. But yeah, there's kind of a lot of stuff sort of going on in that general vein. You know, I was looking at my team and I was thinking, you know, what am I going to do? I was looking at bringing in champions like Kunoichi and trying to come up with a crazy speed tune utilizing her. I quickly scrapped that idea. She's very hard to speed tune, but a very good champion. That was a little disappointing because I thought that would have been an excellent addition. Get double ally protection going, right? I was looking at bringing in maybe a Giscard, the Sigiled, right? I mean, a more reliable decrease attack, not to mention increased defense on a 3-turn cooldown, and increase attack, which could be really good to help my Anax do more damage. I thought, oh, that could be pretty cool. I was looking at trying to do a 2-1 ratio team. I was looking at trying to do a 3-2 ratio team where everybody's taking where everybody basically, you take 2 turns and then you take 1 turn and then you take 2 turns and then you take 1 turn. And that can be a great way to kind of stretch the duration of your buffs on your team, right? And I looked at that pretty heavy. I looked at taking Archmage completely out of the team and just going at a 1-1 ratio and just being real tanky and trying to last a really long time. There are a lot of options because I have a lot of issues with my team. I don't have any healing in it. I have decreased defense, but I have a pretty inconsistent decreased attack. Those are kind of the big gaps in my squad. And I didn't really sure what to do about it. I did find a solution though. And I think you guys are going to be impressed. If you've been following me for a while, you should probably be able to predict who it is I'm bringing in. So actually, I would actually recommend you guys go ahead and in the comments down below, put who you think I'm going to actually substitute in and who I'm going to substitute them in for. Because let me tell you, Trumbor, really good champion. Grizzled Jarl, really good champion. Those are the two that I was, most obviously going to change out, but I was looking at swapping out Archmage. I was looking at maybe taking out an Axe as well. Though I really like an Axe. Skullcrusher is definitely in the team. But I'd be really interested to hear, well, who do you guys think I'm subbing out and who do you think I'm subbing in? I think the subbing in part is probably the bigger question, right? But yeah, we were able to build something really interesting. And of course, I'm really interested to see what some of these other creators are going to be coming up with, because I know the speed tunes that YST is coming up with, that Hell Hades is coming up with, but the speed tune, the champions, that's maybe half of a speed tune of a real clan boss team. The other half is the gear, and the gear is incredibly important, So I'm really interested to see what is it that, YST is going to be able to put up. He's got damage mitigation from that Geomancer. He's got, several champions that can actually hit pretty hard in Geomancer, Hitatsu, and Godseeker Aniri. But he's got, Haikatune, who I just don't really like a lot, but she lowers the speed requirements of your team. She makes that 2-1 ratio team very possible. Got Rearguard Sergeant, so he's got tons of healing, tons of protection, all the buffs and debuffs you could want on your team. It's a really strong team. I'm real curious too about Nub. I mean, Nub, completely new to the clan boss as far as experience compared to the rest of us, but he's got a lot of the foundations for a very strong team, and he's got some real strong damage dealers. Ruel is exceedingly good, and buffs she brings are really, really nice too, right? Dark Kale is an amazing champion, really good poisoner and damage dealer in his own right. Sepulchre Sentinel is going to be great for him. Sandlash Survivor's amazing. I think he's going to end up replacing Grush the Mangler, but it's not a bad foundation of a team that he's got right there. The real question is, can he go fast enough to compete with us? And if he does go fast enough, then can he sustain well enough to compete with everybody else, right? And so for me, that's going to be the big question. That's going to be the real big question as far as how that goes. And I think the gear is going to have a major impact on that. Cold Brew has the most intriguing team of all, and I would not be surprised if Cold Brew pulls out something from his nether regions that is just insanely good and insanely interesting, because I feel like there are pieces there to make a really cool team. Just Runekeeper Dazjerk on his own is such an interesting champion. White Dread Nia with her reset skill ability is really powerful. And then, of course, he's got the best pair so far in the draft that I think in Liburga and Venomage, being able to not only place and extend a ton of poisons, but also explode them. I mean, that's really good. Plus, he's got that damage mitigation from Venomage. He's got the strengthen buff from White Dread Nia. He's got Jareg, who has increased defense. He's got Liburga, who has increased defense, and another ally protection with Jareg. So he's the only one of us that has 2 ally protection champions. Only one of us that has strengthen. The only one of us with the Venomage damage mitigation. Kind of a lot to like there. So I'm really intrigued to see if, one, he can get to a speed tune that can compete with those of us going on a 2-1 ratio. And if he doesn't, if he can still sustain and or put up the damage numbers to compete with us, because I feel like that's just as possible, right? I'm really interested to see how this all goes with him. And then, of course, we got Hell Hades, and Hell Hades has the shield team, right? With the Taragi, the Frog, Claude Beastfeeder, like those two. Ooh, those two could be pretty deadly as a combination here. And he has a very complete team as well, right? With Anchorite and Fane kind of completing that squad. And then, of course, Mark, who I expect he's going to substitute out. Then the question is, who does he substitute in? And how does he deal with the stun if he does? It's going to be really interesting to see all those things. So I'm very curious about all these teams, about who's going to end up you know, really kind of winning this thing and putting up the most damage. So I'm intrigued. You know, I said before the draft that I thought, you know, the winning team would have at least 50 million, which is a high bar considering the champions we have. And I would not be surprised if somebody actually gets to a 1 key. You know, I don't know how it's gonna go down, honestly. I'm a little nervous, right? Like, I love Skull Crusher. Counterattack's super powerful, but he doesn't, and he brings ally protection, but he doesn't bring anything else. So trying to fit in all the other buffs we need for that to work is actually really difficult, right? You need increased defense on your team. Like, you need it. And so if I can't figure out a way to make that happen, this is going to be this might not be a very long fight at all. So there's definitely some interesting things going on here. I'm not sure, you know, what the end result's going to be, but I'm definitely interested to see it. I'm definitely interested to see it. But anyway, you know, I have my free to play up here, and I figured I'd go ahead. We had this weird 2x sacred for some reason today, and I have one sitting around, and boy, a new legendary would do wonders for my account. So I figured, why not pull it and just see what I can get and add a little spice to this video right at the end. So that's what I'm gonna do. Pulling it right now. We'll see if we can get anything fun. Maybe this will be a preview of my draft. Oh, Kellen the Shrike. This is actually a really good champion, guys. This is a really good champion. You know, brings a weaken on that A1, which is always nice. 50% chance to land when booked. He's got a decreased speed, right? As well as a turn meter decrease on that A2 ability. This is pretty nice, right? And then perfect veil on himself, which is always nice when you have a damage dealer. Giving him perfect veil is pretty good. And then, of course, he's got an AoE that the damage increases for each debuff on the target. So that is something that I would actually really be interested in bringing this guy into Clan Boss and seeing what kind of damage he could do, because that could be pretty powerful if you get enough debuffs up there. And ignore shields when under perfect veil. So this could be a real interesting champion to use here. Definitely this, you know, he's got some intriguing stuff here. I'm not sure where he's best. He doesn't have enough multi-hitters. He doesn't have enough AoEs to be used everywhere. So it's a little bit interesting, right? Not sure that he's going to be great for any one specific area of the game, but I'm definitely interested in him. And I apparently am collecting all the Sylvan Watchers. That seems to be all the champions I have on my account, from Elva to Dahi to Kellen the Strike. I have more too, actually. I have quite a few of them. So that's kind of an interesting thing. Anyway, guys, I'm really excited. Hopefully you guys will be at the draft. Having a big crowd is such a fun time. We had like almost 2,000 people, 1,800 people, I think, at the draft itself. And I'm hoping we're gonna have even more of you there for the final. So I'm really looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing you guys there. It should be a really fun experience. So yeah, that's all we got. Remember, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, 4 p.m. UTC. That's what it's in London. So, you know, you can figure it out from there. But thank you guys so much for sticking around, for watching the channel, for being a subscriber, and just, you know, awesome people all around. Anyway, guys, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Until next we meet, the Deadwood Jedi.